Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. We have 24 people connected participating in this CST. So I invite you to drink your coffee or your tea so we can start talking this evening as we are talking about some data or information that we will present to you. But basically, we are going to talk what we're doing right now. So we are preparing in the CIESS and the CIESS. And also to start conversing or talking into this session. Your microphones will be open so you can raise your hand and then you can comment or add some information to this session. Now I will present myself. I am Soledad Buendía. I have a doctorate in the CIESS Institute and also a PhD in education and social sciences in gender justice and human rights. And also feminist political scientist. I am a researcher. And my principal topic for researcher are the violence for the gender gap and also for the non-discrimination equality. And how can we see this in different spaces from what is the decision from the exercise for the public role? How we can be transformed these conditions? I have been a secretary from the state from Ecuador. I was born in Ecuador, but my nationality is Mexican. I'm also a legislator until 2021 in Ecuador. And from all of you that you are connected today, I'm also a public server. I'm very grateful to have this responsibility through my decisions, my current decisions as humans, that we are not perfect. Sometimes we commit some errors, but it's not the intention to damage someone, but we have the responsibility we have here. Almost all the public officials, so we can work together and we can work as well as we can. So we are looking for in this space is just to invite you so we can share some useful tools. Welcome everyone to this CST that has been running by the Inter-American Conference of Social Security Studies, CIESS, and also the Inter-American Conference of Social Security. And we are looking to talk about the analysis also for the acknowledgement for some officials in Social Security in all the Americas. This is what is a part of the membership from our institution. So we consider that it's very important that we can have important topics. So and also we would like to talk about the equality and in the Americas as a challenge that exists still. Although all the technologies, also the advance from technological resources, even though for the politics on our countries and also for the advancements for the public policies, but we can see still inequality and discrimination. These are some problems that are very strengthened in our population, in our roots. So we have a shared history here. In the significant advances in human rights and also for social justice, they don't have this problem or this issue that has been affected to 1 million people. In this dialogue or in this shared talk, we would like to talk about that we can explore some figures that can give us a context or a general image for the magnitude for inequality and also discrimination in the Americas, and also the consequences that arise from it, and what we can do from our spaces or from our lives, what we can do together, how can we exercise, how can we transform them. Now I would like to begin with certain specific things. One of the most important topics that affect to inequalities, because we like to talk about in plural, this inequality, economic inequalities. This is one of the most important inequalities in Americas. example, in 2021, the 1% of the population in Latin America and the Caribbean accounts more than 40% of the region's wealth, while the poorest 50% barely access to the 3% of it. These all numbers evidence this huge gap between all the different social groups, and also that implies something wrong for the economical resources for the population who have more needs about this. And I would like also to talk about another topic that is very important. That is the topic about this inequality, how the inequality works, how this inequality is still a reality in the Americas, the gender gap, the gender inequality. Although we have some inequality laws and also some international treaties, and we have the CEDAW, we have also other resources that our countries have provided us. We still have many difficulties to understand or to manage these inequalities. These efforts to promote the inequality for the real inequality or substantive inequality, and also for the opportunities, have not been able to have a transformation in our countries. According to the Inter-American Bank for Development, women in the Americas makes an average of 17% less than men for the same work. So we also have some certain concepts that from the feminism have been strengthened. Some also conditions that can avoid women just to go forward, so we can start working about this. So there are some gaps that avoid us to go beyond. So these are some of the conditions that apparently are not there, but are invisible in most cases, but that doesn't allow us to run away, go forward, or to make decisions. So this has been making a difference, but we still have to work in this topic about inequality and gender inequality. It is not a disconnected topic, but it is also similar to other or mix other difficulties or inequalities into how to manage the life. And also it manage or impact the violence, cultural gender violence. These impact all different expressions or these differences in between inequality, what is the feminicide or the machist inequality. We have here some numbers that in 25 countries we have seen feminicides. So we have to raise awareness about this. So we have to work on it. So how can we create in these spaces within the Social Security and to improve the right to Social Security, also to start transforming these mechanisms to can perpetuate the violence, and just to how to transform these practices or the conditions in which all people can be developing new ways to for relationship. Inequality and discrimination also from different purposes. We can talk about gender inequality, but also we have a physical inequality, culture, discapacities, religion, or the expression of gender, the age or social condition, economical condition, health condition, ethical condition, migration situation, or some political thinking. These are some other kinds of discrimination that are part of in our societies that have been eliminated within the societies. It has negative consequences individually and also socially. This gender discrimination, we have inclusion or some gaps in gender, just to stop progressing for our societies. In this context, we would like to ask us, how far are we within gender inequality and also Social Security in the Americas? The great majority of people who are participating in this CST are part of Social Security institutions. So we can see here we have a great challenges to managers to face. So in our spaces, in everyone is having here. So we would like to present some reflections in some gender inequality in certain Social Security genders. the Americans is still a way to talk about the right for Social Security. It is in we have. It is very important that all countries have to talk about this participation in Social Security, just to generate a new way to have relationships, because it's a topic that have been the main thing from the human right, from some transformations for new constitution in a social impact. So it was implemented to the social security right. So it is acknowledged within other things, the possibility to have social security from all people who make some non-unpaid work. And also in terms of the pensions in women and men in the Americas, women especially tend to receive less pensions. So this is very important. So when we analyze this, analyze our space in labor, the gaps in genders. So just to see these different conditions on this impacts, difficulties, according to all difference into people. So we are focusing on. So in this case, women and women, we have very differences in pensions. We have less pensions in our region due to a certain topics as gender gap or segregation of population, and also the interruption of their careers or professional careers due to their family opportunities. So women, we have the responsibility to, or just we have to stop our studies, our work, to take care of all our projects. The salary gaps, as we mentioned before. The next slide, please, so we can continue talking. All these topics of population segregation or to stop our careers or family responsibilities are a part of a certain crisis. So we can see it very clearly in the COVID-19 pandemic. So it provides us just to understand that we have to take care of all the things in the region. Some analysis provides that these things are very familiarized or centered into family in the society, and within the families, with feminists. Women are the ones who put on more time of they make more effort just to take care of this. So this is evidence that we can see a great difference, a great gap into pensions, and these gaps also imply a certain decision within our decisions. Some of the pensions that can provide for women to have social security, but however, there is a less of coverage that we have in our countries, where women in general, we don't have access or less from grades. Inequalities still exist. Women are vulnerable as all the domestic workers in other countries. Also, this work doesn't have any kind of social security or this relationship to the social security in a universal way. But the informal workers in general have less opportunity in these sectors to have access to social security. So it exposed women for more risk, social risk. As we mentioned before, also maternity and the responsibility for cares are topics that goes to women. So this is a great debate. So we can debate, so we can comment about this, so we can see what are our responsibilities of this. Some of the social security systems don't recognize all the non-payable workers who take care of others. But in our countries, there are some other tools that have been incorporated here in some laws that also to see what are the main purpose that has been proposed in Americans to propose another system of care just to help for this population. also their incorporation to the labor market while they have children. So even be more important, and also it affects our conditions in relation to the social security. Another element is gender violence, which also have an impact within the society. The survivors from the domestic violence. So we have many challenges to face to provide this social security, and they have to they have challenges to recover economically. This is something that has to be taken into account. And also is very important to highlight. Sorry. Thank you. We have 47 people who are trying to participate. If you want to participate, I will be very happy if we can proceed with the participation. So just raise your hand so we can talk about these topics. How far are we within the Americas, social security in the Americas? Although the diversity in our countries and some other politics or policies that can be working on, we still have many differences. As we mentioned before, gender pay gap, segregation, career interruption, or access to social security is very different between intersectional thing. If we are women, or we are caregivers, or we are informal workers. And all the care system is structural, or a critical point for the inequality. So I think this is a topic from last time, so it will be part of the debate from the social security. And also two topics that have been incorporated in a region in social security matters is the concept of work, the care work, and also the concept of human rights. Within the human care, or the right for care, are mixed together for all the social security matters. Please raise your hand so we can answer your questions. And we also have been talking that these gaps have been impacting the social security, the possibilities to exercise universally our rights. We still have to work on it a lot. We still have many examples, many good practices in our region also. We can or college knowledge in relation to this topic on social security. We still have to make research or some studies. For this, we would like to invite you to be part of a diploma course in equality and non-discrimination, which is constructed. That will be our second edition. This training space looks to provide some synchronous classes or training knowledge that can contribute to this knowledge in equality and gender equality. For this, we also have here we're going to talk about some topics. This diploma course comprise 7 modules for the methodology, and also for all the content, for all the resumes for our lecturers or specialists. This diploma course is constructed from gender, will be taught by women, just to share this point of view that is very different. Second model will accounts second social security for wellness, for take care of politicus. She's a specialist at public administration, also for constitutional law. She also have a care politics in gender gap for by the Latin American Social Sciences Council. She's candidate for the PhD of the Political Sciences for the Research Center of Economic Lectures. is where we can see how these all two topics or these two rights for the rights to social security are important things, actual important things with a useful tools to construct these concepts. Also, Module 3 is very important that implies a labor equality and non-discrimination. This module will be taught by me. I will be very grateful to share with you this knowledge so you can be part of this. We have here many tools. We have another methodology in these topics in which we will talk about the importance of a management of a gender perspective, and also how to generate some tools of administration and a human talent field for this focus political or equality, labor equality, or the importance for the policies, how to create or to understand these equality, labor equalities, and just to provide some tools that we can generate to the talent management. As they say, that for the human capital, that is very important for our institutions, for our organization, to put this opportunity inequality through these different documents or different tools for the incorporation, for a personal retention for personnel, and also for training, equality for opportunities, how to create or sensibilize or empathy in relation to this topic. All of a series of proposals for training or internal training within institutions, and also for these topics that are elaborated from the standards that can allow us to have labor skills. So it will be very important and very special for social security institutions. And we also have the importance for protocols in equality and protocols to prevent a labor harassment. Since Latin America is the eighth country that has signed the convention of this institution for these institutions for human rights also, and all of the organization for social security institutions. Besides the corresponsability politics, accessibility tools, or some inclusive language. This set of tools will be very useful, very interesting that we can share together. For the fourth module, we have a very similar or topical that is very listened, so the violence, the prevention for violence, and how to prevent the violences, or how we can manage the type of violences in gendered violence, or the mechanisms, some impact, or the causes from different violences. For this module, Luz Angela Cardona will be taught this information. She is Colombian. She has studied for this social sciences institution. She also have a master's degree in population and development by Flaxo, and demography, and especially in some violence. And she is also psychologist from the Pontificio Javeriana University of Colombia. In Module 5, we will talk about maternity and obstetric violence, which is very important for our institutions, for social security institutions. So we will have here a Mexican specialist. We have invited very lecturers from many countries in our region. So this will be taught by Dr. Vilma Ramirez, who is law graduate with a master's degree in criminal procedural law. She's a specialist in human rights, gender violence, and public policies with a gender perspective, equality, and non-discrimination. For Module 6, we will have social security, the right for social security. How is it managed within the Americas? And here, the Inter-American Conference on Social Security is part of its history. For this module, will be taught by Gabriela Ravideneira, who is licensed for Social Security in Contemporary Studies in Latin America from the University in Buenos Aires. She was also president of the National Assembly in Ecuador, and she also she imposed the laws for the regulation for all the Social Security or the Social Security amendments. the law for social security for all people who don't receive any pay, and also for or the households. So it will be very important that she can provide us useful knowledge because she has been very useful for us. She was the first woman in Ecuador to preside over parliament and the youngest at the regional level to occupy the first role at the stage of 28 years old. And she was also former president and alternate chair of the Latin American and Caribbean Parliament. And also we will talk about public policies with a gender perspective, which will be a module where we can see the methodology and to provide many tools to continue with this topic. So we will be taught by Doctor in Sociology in Master in Development, María Pesina. She is from Venezuela. She is a specialist in constitutional in the design of communication strategies, including the branches of politics, institutional cooperation, and gender. She's also researching on communication, gender, and science and social community. We will have here synchronic sessions. So it will be very important that the people who can be able to continue to see these synchronous classes, they are able to see our visual videos. We will have 36 hours of work on the platform. And we will also have a forum in which we will share some ideas, or we can share some important topics in the matter. And we also will have a suggestive bibliography or obligated bibliography to develop certain duties within the session. And also we'll have to be able to see these videos virtually. Do you have any questions about this information? So we can stop sharing the presentation. Thank you. Just to start asking the questions. I think we have many questions in the chat. We have 24 participants right now. We have a link in which you can access so you can have all the information in relation to this diploma course. Eugenia, would you like to talk? Would you like to ask something? Thank you to turn up your microphone. This diploma course is looking to fusion all the institutions for social security in the region. That is why we have adopted the methodologies, also the schedule that can allow us to continue strengthening our knowledge or technical capacities in this issue. At the same time, you can continue working or doing your daily life duties. So this diploma course is designed for all members for institutions that are part of from our membership. We would also like to invite you to see or to take these modules. So it is virtually. So we don't have any information session on site. So you're able to connect to this session all around the world. So you can be part of this knowledge or this huge challenge. So I invite you to be part of this diploma course, to be part of this experience of training of gender inequality that can provide us a different vision when we practice or to put in practice our professional agenda. So it will be very important just to see that this is also important or provided in the medical area or field in social security institutions, and that we can see that it's keeping changing. This is our second experience or the second edition of our module. And the first diploma course that we provided the last year, we have many participants from different institutions. And we have been gathering together, so we have encountered some other spaces, and all this knowledge of this diploma course have been very useful for them for their labor practice, and also to keep having other visions or the other views. So this is all the information we would like to share with you to invite you to participate and be part of the group that we are trying to challenge or to change our social security vision. So we would like to know, I would like to know what we are thinking about this. If you have any comments, you have to share something with us. It will be very interesting for us so we can share with all of you. If you like to take the floor, if you like to share something. I'm sorry. Just to drink some coffee can help us to continue. Okay, I will pass the floor to Carlos Javier. We can pass the floor for him. You can open your camera if you like. Please introduce yourself so you can start asking. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. I'm connected from Honduras. I'm sorry, Carlos Javier. We cannot hear you very well. Could you please talk a little bit louder? Can you hear me well better now? As I mentioned before, I am from Honduras. I would like to thank you very much for your exposition. Some of the very important factors in relation to these topics for certain policies. It's just to talk about certain topics that obstaculize to talk about these topics. And these policies have to promote in the way so we all together can work on it. For example, it can be seen in some garden schools. This is very important topics that we have to consider. The majority of countries doesn't take into account. And also, there are no political policy that are. So sorry, Carlos Javier, we have a difficult time listening to you. I don't know if someone else can hear him because I cannot hear you well. Can you hear me better now? Yes, much better. Thank you very much. We wish you to hear you better. We have mentioned that some of the most important difficulties is the proposal, the money to provide for the gender, and also for the promotion in part for the institutions that how much money are invested for these policies to just to stop that they can affect the social security field. Not only for the topic for gender, but also because the lack of income to provide some policies into this topic. I don't know if you could hear me better now. Yes, thank you very much. I shall with you some of the difficulties. That the first thing is resources in general. And also, when we still have this difference, so we don't have indicators in all countries. In some other countries, they have experiences to the differentiations for gender indicators within their resources that are invested to these policies. But we will talk about this in module 7. So we will see how to construct or to how to create these indicators and how they impact in different point of views when we have political policies in a gender perspective. How to create projects in gender perspective and how to evaluate or have an assessment into a gender perspective. These are some of the topics that we share with you that is very important in this framework we have incorporated here as fundamental or important tools for your training within this diploma course that we propose you to be part on. Thank you very much for your participation. We send you a huge hugs to Honduras. Thank you very much. Can someone else want to share something? Francois Olivar, we pass the floor for you. Thank you very much. I would like to introduce where we are sharing with you, with us. Can you hear me? Yes, thank you very much. My name is Francela Briceño from the Workers Syndicate from Costa Rica. When I see the presentation program, I think that labor equality and there's some non-discrimination policy are very important to be included or provided. Since most of the times we can see discrimination in the labor post and inequalities are always present. And most of the times when we look for gender equality, they affect us because it is included in the labor field. Because there are some works or some jobs or duties that only performed by men. So sometimes that some of the many important topics that talk about the labor equality, some tools for the equality, it talks about some of the sexual division from the gender gaps. These gender equality policies, not only in women, also it tends to see the discrimination. So the reality is that all of us are able to make some duties. So we can contribute to this in the labor, so we can perform similar as men or the same way as men as women. So we think that the topics that we have here in the program are very important as we can prevent or the violence within the labor environment. So we can strengthen the human rights in this case. So I think that the experience we will have here in this course will be very useful for us. So we can contribute to the knowledge that we would like to acquire into these topics that are very, very important, as you mentioned before. So I'm very happy to be part of this course. I think that will be very a very useful training. So as I can see in the program, it provides us very useful topics that we can take advantage of it. Thank you very much. Thank you for your comment. Yeah, you're right. It's very important. So we will see what are the mandates of gender. How can we eliminate stereotypes? So I think that we'll be very interested space to share. So we are looking here, so only the share of experiences from different optics or different points of views from different countries, that as all countries from our region are very similar in many topics, but also we have similar differences. So we will see what's happening in Honduras, in Mexico, Uruguay, Dominican Republic. From this, we can keep strengthening the social security in the Americas. So we can better possibilities to apply or to allow that the human right to social security will be a reality to all people, women and men. Thank you very much for your participation. We are very happy to having you or that you can join us to this part of this training that we can provide knowledge for us. Is there someone else who want to participate? Most of you are public officials. And I think it's a very great challenge and a great responsibility that we give us many knowledge. From many years, I've been able to take many decisions. So as human rights, we can take decisions and we can transform human lives. When we work in social security, it's very fundamental since it's an institution that is the basis to construct welfare societies. We don't strain our societies to have access to social security or dignified pensions or certain conditions for health or better health conditions. It will be very difficult for us to continue our work. So this is the challenge that we are facing. We pass the floor to Melissa Miranda. Thank you very much for sharing with us and being part of this space. We are listening to you. Good afternoon, Melissa Miranda. I also work in the educational case of Social Security in Costa Rica. I'm very grateful and very happy for this opportunity to have training in very important topics as the topic for the gender gap. And the most important thing here is just to appropriate this training or knowledge, but not to be, not just stop sharing. And not to just to provide or to share our knowledge with our society, just to make a change, and not only for a personal growth, but also that we can work together, so we can evidence or to see a great change, and step by step we can see some other progress. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Melissa, for your participation. Francia and Melissa can provide us many important training because they can provide us information about the unions. Because we can talk about the rights from Social Security and on the unions from different point of view that can incorporate your experiences. How can you enrich this diversity that we will have in this course, that we can allow us to have these different concepts that are from different levels and also from the union areas. So I think it's very important. Thank you very much for your participation. Is there someone else that would like to share with us? We have here many women and men, so it's amazing for us because this world are structured by women and men. So we all together we can keep fighting just to put in efforts together. Is someone else wanted to share some content or about the content of the program or the methodologies or about the lectures? Someone asked me about my cup of coffee. This was some assigner a quarter. This is Oma. This is for our Andean culture. This is our cup of coffee. Are we still able to register? Yes. Yeah, you're able to register. The link is open still, so you can have the registration. We start the next week from the July 10th. You're still able to register. So we like a first introduction model where you can be familiarized for the methodology, the virtual platform, and also how we can continue keeping engaged in the classes. So you can be part of this training, a very, very useful space for our institutions that also can help us to our professional practice, not only as individual purpose, but also for the society. Do you have any other doubts? If not, we can start in concluding. We pass the floor to Francia. Just one doubt. Are we going to connect to this course, or we are starting the course according to the dates that we already established? Yes. Or virtual activities are all will be already available, or you will communicate the virtual activities? Yes, all the virtual activities will be communicated, provided for you. And also for all, in every classes that will be communicated all the activities. In the chat, you can see the link, so you can see all the information, more information about this diploma course. Everything will be sent you to your email. So also we have a forum space, so you can be in contact with me. And also our co-workers who manage the platform can provide you my email address, so we can have more direct contact if you have any doubts or any questions, not only for the registration for the diploma course and the introduction, but also for the rest of the diploma course about the content or how we can run out for some certain topics. So we are very useful to debate or to share or to construct or disconstruct some other concepts, and also to generate this space that can be very useful and enrich all together. This is the link for information and also the registration link. So the registration's deadline is July 6th. So we are still able to register. And also the conditions and all topics related to the diploma course you can see it in the link. Eugenia, I pass the floor. Welcome, Eugenia. We are very happy to having you in this session. Can you hear me? Yeah, we can hear you. I'm from Dominican Republic for the prevention and protection for labor risk in Dominican Republic. I think that this will be a very useful course for everyone. Yes, yeah, my partner before mentioned that we are not only for us, but we can also able to share with everyone. So we will be able to see each other. Thank you very much, Virginia. Welcome to this program from Dominican Republic and all partners that are sharing to this academic space, and also for this training challenge to incorporate or to break some scams from many things that we are starting talking about. So we are learning. We will going to learn or generate some knowledge through these spaces. We will be beginning our session in July 11th as introductory module that will be taught by me. So we will be in contact, a personal contact, so the technology we can see each other. So we will share with you my email. So I ask Eduardo if you can share with us my email address, so you can write it down, all your questions, so we can see all the topics, how the methodologies will be presented, and also how will be the topics, the main topics for each model. We able to, you have to provide the 70% of all the academic activities so you can be approved. So this is a topic that not only will transform the institution in which you are working on, but also it will transform you. I'm secure that all people that will be sharing this process or will be sharing with us this process will change their personal lives and also for the institutional lives and their duties. Welcome, everyone. You already have there my email address, so you can write me some doubts or many questions about any topic. So I'm very grateful to answer every question. So we will be very grateful to see each other and to know each other during this space. If you don't have any other doubts, welcome everyone to this challenge together. We were working together. We will be doing very well. And we will generate a transformation, a very interesting information transformation within institutions. And also, we will also have a link for the bibliography, or suggested bibliography, so you can read or obligated bibliography I can see. So I recommend that you can see this bibliography before the class, so you can have elements to debate or to participate or to share through these academic topics. And this is a kind of topic or training in which the debate or critical thinking is very important for us. So this is very important. We are starting closing. Thank you very much for your participation. We have here more than 50 participants in this cafe or this CST. Thank you very much for your participation, for your time, your knowledge, and for all who were able to talk. We will see from other next sessions. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm Soledad Buendía, and I will be your academic coordinator for this experience, this challenge, and also for this great opportunity for social security institutions, not only for all the institutions that we are working on, but also for all kind of institutions working in equality and non-discrimination, which is a challenge that we are facing and working on, that we all together we are going to tackle. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. We will see very soon. Thank you very much. If you are not able to register yourself, you can motivate your partners or your co-workers to encourage them to participate or register to this session, or all people that participate in these kind of topics. If we have many people, we can enrich all the knowledge that we are provided. If someone else wants to share something, if not, we start closing this session. Thank you very much, Carmen, Elena. So sorry that I didn't see you. Don't worry. Thank you very much, everyone who will connect to this CST. This is a new proposal that we implemented into the study center through the academic area, in which we would like you to have a previous knowledge about the topics that we are going to provide you in the course. Thank you very much for all of you for the participations, and María Soledad for this coffee or this tea. After the lunch. So we invite you to register to participate in our academic offering. As you can see, it's constructed or it is designed not only to having lecturers from one country, but we are looking to have many lecturers from many countries. So just to share together, to have a different perspective internationally. Thank you very much for your participation. Also, María Soledad, for this space that she shared with us. Thank you very much, Carmen. If we don't have any other participants, we will see soon in this diploma course that we are about to close registration. So we invite you to register now. If you haven't registered yet, so you can invite your colleagues or your partners so you can together register. Thank you very much. I send you a big hug from Mexico, from the Mexican Social Security institutions to all the Americas and all the region. Thank you very much. We continue drinking our coffee. Thank you.